Welcome to Brik Flix, the Blockland Video Review Show. My name is Mr.Annoying, and I'm being joined here by Baked.
Hello, I'm Baked, also known as Sap on YouTube, and I make Blockland videos myself from time to time.
We've decided to review a 2010 machinima film created by Legopepper, Restaurant Thief. So, Baked, your thoughts?
This is one of those videos that I look back on fondly. It for sure got me to where I am now in terms of Blockland video making. Legopepper stands out among us as a predecessor for a mainstay of Blockland itself. His videos are where most people start when they get into making Blockland movies.
And now, let's begin with our criticisms of the film. Having both of us see it a few times and taking notes, I know there's a lot we agree on. I want to start off by saying that my biggest criticism of this video is that it isn't complemented by the runtime. I rewatched this video not once or twice, but 3 times over to make sure I absorbed all of it. After seeing it so many times, scenes that are meant to draw me in, such as a car chase or a suspenseful pursuit, become dulled the second time around because of their unnecessarily long screen time. That and the lack of sound effects. This video didn't really sync up with the music, and the camera angles didn't vary enough to complement the tone. And speaking of the tone, the video went a little all over the place. It wasn't serious enough to really pull me in, but it wasn't outrageous enough to suspend my disbelief. I feel as though the video was spontaneously cobbled together during production. This might be why the music doesn't always fit in the scenery, or why the characters seem to make odd decisions. So, Baked, your thoughts?
A long video needs to have entertainment, and while back in 2010 you would find it here, nowadays this video is somewhat boring. A lot of long shots that seem like they could go on forever, and I don't know. I've had the same issues in the past. If a lot of the shots were cut earlier, this video would be half the length or less. That's more appealing than a 6-minute video of almost nothing substantial. Not only were scenes drawn out, they weren't very pleasant to look at. The camera was far away and made it hard to see what was happening most of the time, and not to mention the use of spy cam during scenes that were intended to be action-based. For example, the chase scene, which is hindered by a pretty bad angle. While it was for sure thrown together out of the blue and was edited in a limited program, there's no reason for some of the choices made here unless it was rushed out or just lazily put together. There are many possibilities and all of them are pretty bad. There were many shots that could have been redone. Cars often got stuck and had to be fixed by the actors, or some scenes just happened spontaneously as if a shot were missing.
I think it's an appropriate time to move on to our general comments about our personal opinions. So, I will address the elephant in the room. This is a very nostalgic film for me. With that being said, some of my criticisms on paper don't affect my viewing experience. Sometimes they even improve it. For example, I noticed a cop in the background at the beginning who didn't even bother chasing the criminal. Yet in the next scene, police at the headquarters have already received reports of a robbery. I don't think that anyone intended for that to be funny, but it was so absurd and obviously not accounted for that it became funny. And I will give the crew a pass for some of the bad dialogue, because it seems as though it was written offhand after the video was already filmed. For the record, a lot of videos at that time did that. This is before there were any Blockland filmmaking tutorials, movie threads on the Blockland forums, or even a lot of movie reviewers online came around. I think around this time, machinima makers just learned from watching each other's videos and experimenting with techniques. If you keep that in mind, the video doesn't look so bad. I do want to stress that it isn't groundbreaking or even anything that special, but it is dumb fun.
Watching this reminded me of wanting to make something with a couple of friends, and I think that's exactly what this video is. Charm is an overused word, but this video just oozes charm from every corner, and I'm here for it. I get my criticism as if it were a serious production intended to be made the way it was, but anything I commented on is null and void, even if it's all true in someone's eyes. I like to call it tough love. Its simple story at the beginning is what makes the video even happen. The whole over 9,000 bit was so 2010 that I just had to give it a pass for being that dumb. Text dialogue is understandable for something that was made in probably a day. It's cheesy, short, and sweet. It never needed to be serious or strict in its writing and acting, but if it were made only a couple years later, it might be hailed as one of the best. This could be the Blockland video of 2010 if it weren't for some of the more popular ones, yet this video contained many cliche classic Blockland video tropes, writing, and acting that makes me see it as 2010 Blockland filmmaking combined into one 6-minute video.
To a T, Baked. And with your comment in, let's move on to our final notes. I'll hand you this one.
It's not the best, but it's not the worst. Its age holds its entertainment value rather than the video itself. Standing at 4,000 views, it's a buried gem that some can point to as their first step into Blockland filmmaking. A product of its time. It's It's messy, drawn out, and slightly uninteresting, but the simplicity of some friends putting together a video that's essentially them just messing around makes it a nice romp for a look back at Blockland's past. A lot of the shots were unnecessarily long and made the video longer than it should have been, and with the addition of shoddy camera angles and faraway shots makes viewers want to stop watching unless they saw it years ago. In one of Legopepper's earlier videos, it shows how much he learned in the way of filming. Going from one of his more recent videos to this one is just complete whiplash. This was in no way intended, but in hindsight, it shows how far we've come. That can be said about a lot of classic videos. A time capsule undug and enjoyed for what lies beneath the part you were meant to watch. The issues lend to its amateur nature, and I have a personal love for this era of low-quality homemade videos. Brownie points for me.
I agree with you about 100%. This video is campy, fun, and laid back. Although, I am going to finish off by giving this movie a score. I have a 10 bracket score system I use for reviewing movies based on production, cinematography, acting, editing, soundtrack, plot, pacing, continuity, pithiness, and entertainment value. I did the math after viewing the video 3 times over, and I'll rate it a 41 out of 100 points. And for something the audience can leave off with, I've gotta ask, Baked, do you recommend this film?
If you're an old player and want to revisit the old days of Blockland, for sure. This is nostalgia packed into video form.
I'll take that as a yes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Brik Flix, the Blockland Video Review Show. Join us again next time.